Honorable Chief Minister, I'd like to first thank you for inviting me here this morning and really want to compliment you on this vision of yours. The reason I say this is because as someone who has been involved in various campaigns, not just through the Maharashtra government but also government of India, whether it be Swachh Bharat, hepatitis B, tuberculosis, tiger preservation, I find that there's a lot of connectivity in this vision of yours. When you talk about conservation of water, we also talk about the purity of water, which Mr. Tang just mentioned. Clean water will provide that health security that we need for hepatitis B, for tuberculosis. Recently, the Prime Minister's office has asked me to be involved in the creation of compost through garbage waste. And I feel that that is in conjunction with Swachh Bharat. So if we clean up our environment, instead of dumping them at dumping yards, if we have a machinery and a mechanism where we can convert that into compost, then compost forms a veritable soil preservative for water. A lot of our water that is, comes to us through the monsoons gets drained away. Our soil is becoming weak. But compost is something that actually saturates the water, gives a healthy growth for agriculture. And this is something that can be done in each home. One of the things I asked them was, can you put this machine in my house? Because I want to be setting an example by collecting the garbage in my house, converting it into compost, and throwing it out into my garden or plants or whatever it is, just because it sets a wonderful example. A lot of hotels are now being asked to be given this manufacturing unit where they can get all their garbage, manufacture it into compost and distribute it. Anand Mahindra spoke about how we need to make sure that something like this helps the rural areas, and Mr. Tata too talked about the migration of rural area into the cities. I just want to mention casually that Mr. and Mrs. Ronnie Sruwala, who are here today, have started a concern called Swadesh, where they have already started working on various villages in their own capacity. And they came and introduced me to this concept, and I asked them if I could visit the place. I visited one of their facilities, and I was absolutely amazed to see the amount of work that is being done there. They have picked up villages, taught them how to live in a clean environment, put up toilets, and I think that something like this, when it spreads, it kind of coincides with your vision. I went to a farmer's place there in the village, where a family of three sons and a farmer. Two of the sons had migrated to Mumbai because they couldn't have the earnings to maintain themselves, and they were working in the city, and they were sending the money back for their existence. And then Swadesh worked in that village, and by just conserving some water, natural water, they dug a well almost the size of this conference room, and with a very simple technology of putting a plastic sheet underneath it so that the water doesn't drain out, they were able to irrigate all the land that they had through the Israeli drainage system. And now their farming output was so good that these two workers that were in Mumbai actually have gone back to the village, because now the earning is sufficient enough for them. So if we can initiate some of these wonderful examples that they have been doing, I'm sure that a lot can happen. When you enrich the soil, as Mr. Mahindra was saying, when you enrich the soil with the compost, I know that you use a lot of chemicals for the growth of agriculture, but I think for the growth of agriculture you need to have better soil, and if compost can be used to enrich the soil, then we enrich the growth as well, and therefore work towards the farmers and their upkeeping. There's been talk about Anand saying that we need to have your passion and your interest in it. When we talked about the tiger preservation, we talked about how the forest is really the main cause for tiger preservation. Forests, as they say, are the almost the godlike figure for our rivers. And so when we conserve water, we will see that our forests become large and big. The soil, because of the compost, becomes strong enough for the drainage not to take place. When the forests and the environment increases, there is greater tiger preservation, and we know how important that is for our country. So I really want to compliment you. I will not be able to contribute as far as the funding is concerned because, I am extremely small. Mr. Dooth was talking about him being small, but, I don't come anywhere near that. However, if my face and my voice can be utilized to propagate this wonderful vision, I commit myself to you and to the government. Thank you so much.